Hey everyone, this is Adarsh. In last video we talked about doctors and practitioners, which was the part 3 of the series World War BDG, which by the way we had started long back in Jan 2019 and then I had taken a halt. You know the drill, right? Let's not get into that story again. In this video we'll talk about liars. There are so many types of liars who exist in this world, so we'll talk about them. We'll figure out how many types are there, and at some point in your life you must have also lied, so we'll figure out which category do you fall into. But before that, people who just accidentally happen to click on this video and have no idea what is happening, I would recommend you to watch the other three parts first, just to get an idea of this book. Although there is no relevance of those three parts with this part, but it is better to follow the order because the author has made that order, and it is better to respect that, right? And one more appeal I would like to make. In the last three videos, I have around 1,000 views, which is not a lot, but it is good that people are watching it, and some people are also liking it. But the problem with them is that they're not commenting, and I want more than that, more than anything, more than the subscription, more than the likes, and more than anything you do. I want your comment. I want your feedback because that's the only way which is gonna be giving me a direction where I'm going. I want to know whether I'm terrible at it or I'm bad at it. So even if you're not subscribing, that's okay. But just tell me how good am I at it or how terrible am I at it? Because that would help me more than anything, right? Because I'm just starting, so I have no idea. I'm a beginner at it. So that's the appeal. Please, if 45 people are watching it and uh, nobody's commenting, that's I mean, please comment, right? Your comment is very valuable. I mean, come on, man. If you're spending some time into watching some content on YouTube, it has to be worth it, man. I mean, I'm providing some value to you or not. That I mean, I should know that, right? And more than anything, you're giving your time is very valuable. Why would you give your time to anybody? Like YouTube, there are so many YouTube channels. Why would you give your time to anybody, right? So it's very important that what you're watching is worth your time, and for that I need to know whether I'm giving you the value or I'm just bullshitting over here. I just need to know your comment. Just give me the feedback, man. Thank you. Without any further ado, let's get started. So, what is the reason we lie? We all lie, we all do. That's not a secret. We all have come across a situation where we had to lie. I mean, we didn't want to lie, but the situation demanded that. So, what is the purpose of lying? So, it is clearly an escapism. We want to escape something. We want to escape a punishment. We want to escape the embarrassment or anything else for that matter, right? So, we lie because we don't want to get ourselves into trouble. So, for example, in childhood, you went to the school and you hadn't completed your homework, and then your teacher just enters into the room and he makes you stand up. You stand up and you're just terrified what he's gonna do to you, and then you lie. He asks you whether you completed your homework or not, and you lie. You come up with a lie, right? That I forgot my notebook at home or whatever. So that's the lie you're telling because you want to escape yourself from the punishment, right? So there are so many reasons of lying. That's how the author has described it in the book, right? So these types of liars, they're nothing but adjectives, right? So this first type of liar is notorious liar. What is notorious? It's an adjective, obviously, because liar is a noun and this is an article. So if you know, even if you know the basic grammar, you'll know that this middle word is an adjective, right? So it is not certainly only used for liar. It can be used for anything, right? So it could be anything. You should know the meaning of it. That's it. So what is notorious? Notorious is very a well known person. But what is he known for? He's known for some bad deeds. He's not like the opposite of notorious can be famous, right? Famous. Famous is opposite of notorious because famous people are those who are doing good deeds or who are famous because they are into they are at a position where they are providing some value to people. But notorious, on the other hand, they are well known for the bad deeds. They're not known for your good deeds. They're known for bad deeds, right? What is a bad deed? in its essence. So bad deed can be uh, a week back I was scrolling my Facebook. I was scrolling my Facebook, and there was a news about an American model. What she would do is like she had around like 15 to 20,000 followers, right? 15 to 20,000 followers, and uh, on Instagram she kept uploading her photos, but her Instagram was not growing at a certain pace. So she wanted to rapidly grow her Instagram. So what she did is like she uploaded some of her naked photos. Not only naked photos, she uploaded an MMS with her boyfriend also. So what like she drew a lot of attention from a lot of people, and within 24 hours she gained around like 3.5 lakh followers, right? Around 3.5 lakh followers. Okay, so she thought that okay, it worked. So after every month, right, after 30 days or 45 days, in Instagram it is not allowed that you upload your sensational intimate photos, right? But she does it, and then she deletes it every time. Like it has become her habit. After every 15-20 days she uploads one of her naked photos, and she draws a lot of attention from people, and then she puts an apology that it was somebody had hacked my account, and then they got my mobile, and they just uploaded that MMS, or they uploaded my naked photos. So what is she doing? She's Although she's famous, but she's famous for the bad deed. She's doing the wrong thing. She's using some cheap tactics to make her Instagram grow, right? So it's a bad deed. So she's famous, she's well known, but for the wrong thing. So this is what. And also there is a pattern, right? So when she did that for the first time, people believed that okay, it could be a mistake, that somebody would have hacked her Instagram and uploaded her naked photo. But when she kept doing that, people got aware that okay, she does that. It's not a new thing, right? She does that all the time. So people don't believe her lies anymore. So she's a notorious liar. Okay, it was a tough example to make you understand. Okay, so notorious, someone who keeps it was in the context of a model, but a notorious liar is someone uh, who lies, but you don't really believe his lies because you are very familiar of his pattern of lying. You know that okay, whenever he opens his mouth, he only lies, right? So he's not very convincing, right? He can trick you into believing his lies, but he can trick a stranger. If you're not familiar with that person, then he can trick you because you are listening to his life for the first time, so you may believe that like he's telling the truth. But after like 2-3 times you will also get to know him, and you'll also say that okay, this person opens his mouth and lies come out, so you won't believe that also. So a notorious liar is someone who is not very believable. People are already aware that he always lies, so they don't believe him. So a notorious liar, a well-known liar, who because he has done something in his past that people are very much aware of, so they don't believe him. But he tries to lie even after that, right? So a notorious liar is a well-known liar, but people don't really believe him. He keeps lying, and he tries to convince people in his lies. Okay, moving forward, a consummate liar. Okay, a notorious. Other This adjective can be used in other words also. And as I gave you the example of a model, right? American model. So you can say a notorious model, a notorious actress, a notorious actor, or a notorious anything else. You know. So it's a negative word. It's an opposite of the word called famous or popular, because he's popular for the wrong reason, right? There are so many people in India. You can imagine people who go into Big Boss and other these controversial shows. They are notorious people, right? In this context particularly, it means liar, right? Consummate, a consummate liar. Consummate means someone who is very good at his craft. Consummate as an adjective means someone who is very good at his craft. So it could be a consummate engineer, a consummate architect, a consummate doctor, a consummate writer, anything, right? Who's very good at his deed. What he does it with so much conviction in it that people actually believe it, right? A consummate writer um, is read by people. People read his stuff. That's why he's consummate, because he does that with so much conviction and so much. a wellness in it that people are very convinced that he's a very good writer, right? So a consummate liar is very convincing with his lies, right? He's so perfect. He's reached at the zenith of his lie. I mean, the zenith of his perfection. Like he's perfect at it. You will completely believe in his lies, right? So he's very good liar, we can say. Like his lies are believable, and anybody who's listening, even for the 10th time, wouldn't believe that he's lying. He would be very convinced that okay, this person is telling the truth. So consummate is very perfect liar, right? Okay, so whose lies are quite believable. A quick word for you. I used the word zenith. Zenith. Zenith, right? So zenith is something, the highest point of something, right? Zenith means if you reach at the highest point of something, right? If you are a writer, you have reached the highest point of it. Means you are really good at it. I mean, people respect you for your involvement in the craft and your wellness in the craft. So zenith is the highest point of something, right? And the opposite word for zenith can be nadir. Nadir. That is the lowest point. You can say the beginning, and zenith is the highest point. So this is zenith and this is nadir. Okay, got it. So consummate as an adjective means to complete something, or um, to to be at the perfection of something. Consummate also means consummate is used in a very particular context, uh, for married couple, right? So there is a married couple, and everything is going well in their life, but except for one thing, that they haven't had sex in their life. Like they got married, but they haven't had sex. So when they had sex for the first time, their marriage became consummate. That means the marriage became complete. Now the marriage is perfect, because that married couple was already very happy, but one thing was missing from the relationship, and that was getting laid, which is sex. And once they did that, their marriage became consummate, which means complete, perfect, right? Moving on to the next slide. An incorrigible liar. Incorrigible liar. So this word corrigible, CORR, that resembles a word called correction. CORRETION, correction, right? So incorrigible liar, what could it mean possibly? It means a liar who cannot be corrected, a liar who cannot be redeemed, right? So a person who keeps lying and everybody knows that he's lying, everybody knows that, and everybody tries to convince to him that please don't lie, we already know why you're lying, there's no point of you lying when we already know that you are lying, right? So but still he keeps lying, he keeps making attempts to lie and make people believe that he's actually telling the truth. So that person is incorrigible, because even after people telling him time and again that don't do that, but he's not getting corrected. He is still adamant on the fact of lying. He believes on that. He believes in lying, right? So that person is incorrigible. Incorrigible as an adjective can be used for other words as well. Incorrigible system. Incorrigible. Indian education system is incorrigible. That it cannot be corrected. It means, right? Indian anything, that's something that cannot be corrected. Education system, I gave you the example of. You can take other examples also from your own. So incorrigible is something which cannot be corrected. So an incorrigible liar is someone who is not getting redeemed, right? He has been caught so many times lying, but still he keeps trying to lie or and make people believe in him, right? So that is an incorrigible liar. In book, the origin of word is also given, the root words are also given. I am trying to, I mean, they have used, like, there are two chapters, basically two separate chapters. First they have talked, they have used this word for liar specifically, and then they have uh, tried to explain the meaning of these adjectives. I'm trying to combine these both sessions, right? So that video will be in two parts, right? Fifth word is an inveterate liar. Inveterate liar. Okay. Oh, what does that mean? Inveterate. There is a word called veteran. I hope you already know The meaning of that word. Veteran. Veteran is again who has, like, someone who has done something for a very long time. Someone who has been doing something. It could be a game. You can say a veteran cricketer. Sachin Tendulkar is a veteran cricketer. Why? Because he has been doing it for like so long. When he was, I think, 16, then he started playing, right? So he's a veteran cricketer. He's very old cricketer. Playing cricket has come very, I mean, comes very naturally to him. It is like he's just doing other thing, right? So inveterate liar is someone for whom lying comes very easy. It could be as easy as brushing teeth in the morning. It is his habit, which is deeply rooted in his daily activities, that he doesn't have to make any efforts for that. It is coming effortlessly. It is like brushing teeth in the morning or going for a walk after the dinner, right? So it is as easy for him. Inveterate. Inveterate is a habitual liar for whom lying is another habit. It is just another thing. He doesn't make any effort into it. He lies with straight face, like very effortlessly. So that is an inveterate liar. I gave you another word also, veteran. Veteran is again someone who has done something so many times that it has become another habit to him. It could be a veteran cricketer, it could be a veteran player, it could be a veteran anything. So an inveterate liar, I told you the meaning of. I'm moving on to the next slide. A congenital liar. Congenital liar. Okay, so this word, focus on that only. Gen. In the book they have explained it quite broadly. I mean, they have taken like two paragraphs to explain it, but I will not go on that. I'll try to give you a slight idea of it. Genetics, right? Genetics. Genetics. So genetics means is something we adopt from our ancestors. Something we adopt from our ancestors. It could be a genetic disease. It could be a genetic, I mean, your how your face looks like. It depends on your genes, right? So everything is, I mean, everything we are depends on how our genes have been, right? So we are made of our genes. So congenital means someone who has been lying from his birth. It doesn't literally mean that after, immediately after taking birth you started lying, but it means like someone who has been doing it from so early in his life that it has, I mean, what to say, it is a second nature to him. He lies because he has been doing it from childhood, right? So congenital liar means someone who has started lying from childhood, from very early in his life, right? So congenital can also be used for a disease. A congenital disease is something which you have taken from your father or your mother, from your parents altogether, or from your ancestors, right? So there are so many diseases. Something wrong could be in your skin or in height, right? There are so many people whose height is not, you must have seen a person whose father is 6 feet, and that's the reason the guy is also 6 feet, because he has adopted that thing from his father, because his father is also that tall, so he's that tall because it is in his genes, right? So it's a congenital thing, and it could be a disease as well. Congenital deformity, congenital disability, right? So that's it. We'll end session over here, although I'll be extending that in the next part, in which we'll talk about other 5 types of liars. But for today, that's it. Again, I would like to make that same appeal to you. Please comment. Please comment. I need your comment, man. I need to know where I'm going, in which direction I'm actually heading, right? And one more reason why I'm pushing you too much to comment is because I want to make this platform very interactive. Because my idea of starting this channel again is to get more and more people to communicate, right? I want people to communicate with each other, and I want to know people personally, right? So without you commenting or without you making me notice who you are, how would I know, right? So just comment, and we'll have a conversation. And there are so many things that I have in my mind, and I would be implementing those things gradually, but I need your advice for that. I need your advice on which kind of content I should be putting out, right? So for that, please comment so that we can get to know each other. It's very important, right? Do comment again. Please comment. Bye bye.